So, there you go. The internet dropped out. It's fine now. I've just done an internet test. Everything seems to be fine. So, none of the kids are downloading things. I have no idea why these things happen, but they happen, and they always happen to me, and I feel sad about it. I just want an internet that works so I can stream a race without it being interrupted, for heaven's sakes, people. So, I'll catch you up. It's the junior, it's the entry level into URL, the academy, and we've been racing for 10 laps of the Big Willow. It's been very exciting. I'd watched the beginning part of the stream, really, if you want proper catching up. Krell's leading, Saints in second, Carlsberg's in third, Hawkeye is fourth. He was running in second, had a big spin, and he's playing catch up now. Ginger is up to fifth after a slow start. Bubblegum, he was running in third for a while. He slipped back to sixth. He's trying to get himself back up there into the race. Fazzy is seventh. The Waitsy had a huge penalty a lap ago. He's down in eighth. Ninja, looks like these two are facing different ways, but Ninja is in ninth, Frank the Racer is in 10th, and Steele is there in 11th. So we'll start from there. And yeah, Ninja continues on his way while Steele is just getting the start button prepped and ready to go. So Krell then making his way around, still in the lead, and we've still got a good 11 minutes of racing to go here. And Krell has got a super lead on the Saint, who is being harassed and harangued by Carlsberg. Carlsberg closing in rapidly on the Saint at the moment. And the Saint having to do all on to try and stay in that second place, with Carlsberg the fastest person in this race so far in the Nesquik Cayman. Hawkeye very close from Ginger there. Ginger looking very racy. A 19.5 last time around from the Ginge, with Hawkeye 30.4 with the spin, and there's another mistake from Hawkeye, and this is crazy. Ginger goes up and into fourth place, and Hawkeye is slipping away from him. Unbelievable stuff. Hawkeye, absolute solid first half of the race, but there's been two small mistakes have been made in the recent laps, and he's slipping down the order. Ginger then up and into fourth, and Carlsberg still chasing the Saint. Then we've got Bubblegum in sixth place. Bubblegum all on his own at the moment, just looking for good points. Fazzy in seventh, quite a way behind Bubblegum, no threat unless Bubblegum has an issue. Waitsy as well, playing catch up in eighth, and Ninja not that far behind. Ninja looking rather racy against the Waitsy at the moment. So Waitsy has got to get a shift on, or Ninja is going to high chop him. And then we've got Frank the Racer. He's a lap down, but he's having a sniff and a whiff at Hawkeye just ahead of him. Be careful, Frank. And Steele in 11th still. It's a couple of rough laps, but this is the problem. You see, you get a bit confident, you start doing some good lap times, and you want to push harder. This is the learning curve that we have to go through. And so Steele just learning when to push and when not to push. Krell at the moment, he is all push in that car. He is flying, it has to be said. The Saint chasing after him, and he's dropping the Carlsberg now. It looks like Carlsberg had a bit of a moment that last lap around, and this lap, and there's a big gap starting to grow between himself and the Saint. They are what did we used to call it during COVID? I can't remember now. Ginger in fourth. Ginger now the fastest man on track, and Ginger's got a smell of a podium up ahead, and Rexy is hungry for points. Hawkeye slipping down into fifth, but he's got back onto the Porsche now, manhandling it around and getting the best. Oh no, Bubblegum making a small mistake, and that's going to be an opportunity to Fazzy, but Fazzy still some way behind. Waitsy's got himself another penalty, and that's going to play into the hands of the Ninja. So Waitsy, he's been a naughty boy. He's going to get a slap on the wrist at the next penalty station, And Ninja is going to be even closer. Frank the Racer, he's got himself past. Oh God, Bubblegum. And he's closing in on the Steel there. Steel taking it easy while to let the other cars through. And Frank the Racer, he's found his pace now. Oh, big slide there from the Cayman. But he clambers it under control. Krell still leads, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes into the race. And Krell looking unshakable so far. The Saint in second. And he's dropped Carlsberg. A couple of small mistakes there from the Berg. And it's put him out of contention and more of a worry in Ginger's way. Ginger with the Rexy coming through. Big, bold and brash, ladies and gentlemen. And making a statement is Ginger in this championship. I'm sure Carlsberg must be the contenders as it is. Hawkeye in fifth. Hawkeye going slows, let Bubblegum through for some reason. Interesting, but Hawkeye not up to full speed so far, and Bubblegum up and into fifth place ahead of Hawkeye. Strange stuff happening there. Fazzy in seventh. Bit of a lonely race for Fazzy. He's got Frank just ahead of him, I believe. Ninja's got past the Waitsy. Waitsy's paid the penalty and lost the position to the Ninja. Ninja now in eighth. Fazzy's a little bit off up the road, but as we know here at Big Willow, really distance is no meaning at all. When you have an off, it really costs you big time. Frankie then in 10th ahead of the Steel. And the Steel slowly building those lap times back up again. He was doing 26s in the beginning and started pushing a little hard in the middle of the race there, getting 55s. But we're going back in the right direction. Remember, he's having to slow down to let the leaders through. So that's going to be affecting his lap times. But yeah, it's getting better from the Steel there. Krell leads the way. With the Saint chasing him down. And now Carlsberg in trouble, big trouble. He's just hit the dust. He hit the dust and he lost the car. And I think he hit Ginger. I think he knocked Ginger and it's affected Ginger as well. Let's get a better view, shall we? Oh, yeah. I mean, I said he hit Ginger, but he didn't hit him on purpose. His car was out of control. And you see Carlsberg there crawling, waiting for Ginger to get back on the track. But it takes a while. Where is Bubblegum? OMG, Bubblegum coming through. Oh, thank God. Frank the Racer ghosted then. Ginger's back on his way and Carlsberg's letting through. These two are back continuing their racing and Bubblegum there is just ahead of Hawkeye. Oh, I know why Hawkeye slowed down, because he wanted to have a look at those panda. He wanted that red-eyed panda to stare into his soul. So Hawkeye then in fifth, Bubblegum there in, Hawkeye sixth, Bubblegum fifth, and Carlsberg and Ginger having a coming together, and Ginger now in a podium position. Leaves the Saint all alone for an easy drive for second place. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up Krell at this point. The Krell is in control of this race. He has totally dominated, ladies and gentlemen. It's all been about... Is he Danish? That's Denmark, isn't it, that flag? What's the yellow flag for? I always get nervous when those yellow flags come out. And it might be Ninja, because it looks like Ninja is back behind Waitsy. So it looks like Ninja has had a moment, and Waitsy back up and into 8th place. Great stuff for Waitsy. Fazzy there in 7th. It's been a quiet race for Fazzy, hasn't he? He hasn't seen any action. Hawkeye, he's seen some action. Action he didn't rather want to see, I imagine. And now he's closing back in on Bubblegum. Carlsberg there, just in spitting distance away. And Ginger leaving the Berg behind as he tries to hunt down the Saint, who is just way too far ahead of him. With only 4 minutes left of racing, and the Krell doing the job nicely at the moment. Steel is just behind Frank. I say just behind. He's had a tough race as the Steel, and he's cracking on though. That's the main thing. He is carrying on, which you've got to salute, ladies and gents. Dedication, devotion. My coffee was good. Thank you for asking. So, Steele, cracking on at the moment. Like I said, his lap times are going in the right direction. He's having to slow down to let cars through. And you've got to take that into account. Oh, Frank the Racer looks like he's had another moment. But he's got a couple of laps on Steele, even if Steele gets by. As we see Ginger make a take. Or is that Ginger? Maybe. So, Frank the Racer then in all amongst it. And Ninja trying to come back at Waitsy. Waitsy in trouble. Waitsy's in trouble at the moment with Ninja on a big push. On a huge push here as Ninja goes on the attack of Waitsy. Waitsy trying to defend in one of the trickiest corners to defend because there's no grip. And Waitsy at the moment giving the Ninja a tow down the straight. And Ninja, he's just having, he's even indicating what side he's overtaking on. That's showboating. A little bit of contact there, and oh, Waitsy's off. Waitsy's off the road, ladies and gentlemen. And he's back on the road again. And I think Ninja just give him a small tap there on the rear derriere. And I'm not sure if Ninja is he's waiting around or Waitsy's just absolutely flying out the box. And is staying on his 6. Fazzy in 7th. Oh, there's a wheel skid just as I pulled away there. And no, these two still as they are. And Frank having a moment, collecting himself and getting moving again. And Steele there in 11th. Then we've got Krell out there. We've got a minute and a half of racing here, ladies and gentlemen. So the next lap could possibly... Oh, it's tight. It's tight if this next lap is the final lap. We will have to wait and see. But at the moment, Krell doing a superb job with the Saint in 2nd and Ginger in 3rd. Ginger coming up through the traffic. Carlsberg in 4th with Bubblegum chasing and Hawkeye chasing Bubblegum. It's very tight here in the top 6. Anything could happen. Fazzy there is in 7th. With Ninja in 8th, just ahead of the Waitsy. These two have raced hard this race. And yeah, I'm not sure. Waitsy might have an argument that Ninja just give him a little knock in that corner. But it is a learning curve, remember. Frank the Racer, this is a tough track to jump in straight away. He wasn't here at the first 2 rounds. So Frank the Racer jumping in. And well, you know, best to jump in at the deep end, isn't it, and give it a good go. Steele also, now his lap time's starting to look very good. Where is he? Is he having a little rest at the side of the track? Oh, is he had another off in the final corner? Oh, he's in the pits. Oh, I think he's parked it in the pits. No, he's parked it at the side. Oh, now he's on the move again. So Krell, is this the final lap? Where the flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's crossing the line. Oh, I think it was Steele waiting for the flag to come out. And then it's going to be the Krell then, ladies and gentlemen. Great drive from Krell. Domination, some would say, as he takes the flag for the win. Saint coming around for 2nd place. And a solid drive from the Saint there. Went up against some big hitters. Ninja finishes in 8th ahead of Waitsy. And we're just seeing the Saint then coming up towards the line to claim that 2nd place. Ahead of Ginger. Looks like someone else has had an off in the final corner. Who knows? So Ginger then coming up towards the line to take the podium position. Great drive from Ginger there. Bubblegum up to 4th. So the Berg had an off. The Berg, ladies and gentlemen. Where did he have that off? Oh, there it was. Yeah, he was in 4th and then decided to go flying at the scenery. And that lost him a position to Bubblegum there and Hawkeye. Moving up, Hawkeye having a think about an overtake on Bubblegum here. And Bubblegum trying to stand fast. Carlsberg slipping down 6th ahead of Fazzy. And we saw Ginger crossing the line as Frank the Racer has a little donut before he gets to the line. And there we go, Ginger over the line in 3rd. Well done on the podium. Bubblegum grabs himself 4th in the end there with Berg's demise, and Hawkeye there in 5th. Carlsberg bringing it home gingerly in 6th. Thinking of what it could have been, what could have been for the Berg there. He was riding in 3rd at one point, I'm sure he was. So Carlsberg then finishes in 6th, ahead of Fazzy. Fazzy having a bit of a quiet race there with everyone around him losing their heads. Fazzy just kept to it and grabbed himself some good points for 7th place. And I believe that's everyone across the line. Ninja in 8th, but he might have the stewards might have a word with him about the way he got past Waitsy in the end there. We'll see. We'll see. Waitsy might have just said, yeah, I slowed down a little too much. It could have been either or. Frank the Racer having a baptism of fire in his first race at the Big Willow. And Steel also, like I said, very tricky track. A very tricky track for our newbies, you may say. What happened, Vodka Rob said. God knows, man. The internet just dropped out, but when I did an internet test, it said it was fine, so I'm blaming YouTube. They're trying to stop me, Vodka Rob. They're trying to stop the stream. So good job by Krell and the Saint and Ginger there. We've got another race to crack on with. And it can never time it between races, can it? I do 2 races. It couldn't have just stopped between the 2 races. So where are we? We're here for the second race of the evening here at the Academy. And that was thrilling. That was thrilling, spilling, and all sorts of crazy, with cars flying here, there, and everywhere. And have they taken on board from the first race the lessons that need to be learned about this track? Usually the lesson is don't race here. I like it, but I have a sickness. I don't like to be nice to myself. So, yes, I enjoy driving Willow Springs, but like I said, it's, hey kiddies, do you know the word sadomasochist? So Frank the Racer, starting on the front row, it's a reverse grid with Waitsy starting in 2nd, Ninja starts in 3rd, the Berg starts in 4th, and Hawkeye starting in 5th. We've got Bubblegum starting 6th, Ginger starts in 7th, the Saint starts 8th, with Krell in 9th. So we've lost someone. We lost the Steel. He may have had to scoot off, and maybe Fazzy. Looks like Fazzy. Did we have a Fazzy? I can't see a Fazzy. So Fazzy may have had to scoot off. They might be the younger of our juniors. But Frank the Racer, I have no idea about Frank the Racer. I don't know where he's come from. And I know Krell, I think Ninja. I thought Ninja was a junior, but don't 100% me on that one. Pretty sure he may be. I think Krell is like 15, so we class as a junior. And Bubblegum's 9. He's going for it. Fair play to you. So he's C Brownie's spawn. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, starting the second race, another 25-minute slap around a Big Willow as Frank the Racer leads them away. Don't forget, look for his Twitch channel and support our little pro sim racers. Frank the Racer then out there leading the way, and Waitsy there a bit unsure. He knows Ninja is not scared to go for the gap. So Waitsy has to be very careful with Ninja behind. Carlsberg in 4th, and Bubblegum and Hawkeye going at it again. We saw some beautiful racing from this pair in the first race, and as Bubblegum sent it in too fast, he closed in on Carlsberg so quick then. We've got a green one off to the side, and it's I can't tell. Hawkeye as well. Hawkeye, the Saint, we've got a few off. I don't know, the Saint must have been the green car that I thought it was, so I didn't see what happened to Hawkeye there. Hawkeye comes in. Ooh, a little tap there from Ginger. That's who we saw going off, Ginger. And I think Saint just was trying to avoid Krell. So, yeah, the Saint ends up off. I think Hawkeye got clipped by Ginger there. And Ginger, he's let the Krell go through. And he continues on. But they are in voice chat to each other, so Hawkeye may have said, don't wait, just crack on. You never know. It's happened to me before. There's been contact, and over the chat the person said, just continue, don't worry. Waitsy in second, Ninja in third, and the Berg there in fourth. And Carlsberg, he'll be wanting to make up for that race one. He'll feel that there was more in it for him than what he ended up with that big off in the final race. And someone's off the road. Is it Waitsy? Waitsy was off. He's back on again. Ninja's managed to get through. And Waitsy, not a bad save. He's only lost to one position so far. Carlsberg is hovering around his rear derriere. But at the moment, Waitsy seems to have been able to cling on to something. Third, at least. Losing second. Frank the Racer is having an absolutely superb opening to this race, isn't he? We saw him throwing it at the scenery in the last race, but it looks like he has taken that information on board, and he's doing a superb job, and even pulling away from second and third at the moment. Ninja moving up into second, whilst Waitsy found himself off the track. I'm not going back to have a look at it, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Carlsberg in fourth with the Krell, up to fifth now. Ginger in sixth. Bubblegum slipped down the order. I don't know if Bubblegum has had an issue, but he's down in seventh now, with the Saint in eighth and Hawkeye in ninth. And you know, these guys are fast. They should close up by the end of the race. Let's hope. But Bubblegum in seventh. You can still see the pack ahead, and it's a long race, 25-minute race. It's a fair amount. So Frank the Racer at the moment, was he bluffing? Was he doing a little bit of bluffing in that first race? Because so far he is looking very pro sim racer like. And Vodka saying, yeah, I quite enjoy Willow as well, more than I did on GT Sport. And Vodka also saying, if you put one wheel off, you get pulled off the track in a flash. Well, yeah, that's it. I was saying that earlier. It's a tough track for entry-level racing, I've got to say. But hey, throw him in at the deep end. That's the idea here. Learn by fire. And so far, it's been good though. It's been good. There's been some offs, as you would expect. But the guys, they've not let it knock them down. They've carried on. The Saint back ahead of Ginger. Waits, he slipped down, unfortunately. Oh no. I kind of secretly root for Waitsy. I think I want him to come good. I want him to do well. And Hawkeye there as well. Raced with Hawkeye. So, yeah, me and Hawkeye, I'd say we're close, not too far apart. We weren't too far apart in the championship and on track. So that's where I am, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I'd say Hawkeye's probably a little better than me. Frank the Racer, a solid job. Unbelievable from, it's like a different car, a different driver from race one. Although he was doing really well. I think it's just he started pushing a little bit. And now Carlsberg getting a little aggressive there with the rear derriere of Ninja. Seeing him coming in like a cannonball. Like a wrecking ball. I never knew you hit so hard. Carlsberg in third. Krell rising up into fourth. Winner of race one here. Is doing a superb job at the moment, flashing the purples as we hit the 5-minute mark. 20 more minutes to go in this race. Bubblegum in fifth with the Saint in sixth, and the Saint's got Ginger all up in his rear derriere, right on his bum, his booty, hiney. There's so many names for something you sit on. Hawkeye in eighth. And Waits there is in ninth, slipping behind Hawkeye. So Waitsy says he doesn't mind, but I bet it hurts a little. Frank the Racer leading the way. Come on, Frank. What a entry. What an entry into the URL, ladies and gentlemen. And Peter Brown saying GG. Well, thank you very much, Peter Brown. GG to you too. Oh, it's tight here with Ninja Krell. And Krell's moved ahead of the Berg. And Krell then looking very fighty in the academy. He's going to be up racing with the big boys pretty soon. And Ninja as well, doing a fine job keeping them at bay in that second spot. So Ninja duking it out with the Krell. Krell fastest one on track at the moment, and is absolutely loving a Big Willow so far. Carlsberg in fourth, and is Krell going for a move on Ninja? Not quite close enough, but Krell's asked too much from the Cayman, and he's off onto the dust, and Ninja just cruises on. And now the Berg is all up and in Krell's business now. Krell having to deal with more than he wished to deal with here. He was hoping to fight with the Ninja, and he's come off fighting with the Berg. And the Berg's going to look for a place up the inside, but it's not there. Krell closes the door and says, no, sir. No, sir, thank you today. I ask you, please, today not to. Ninja then in second, and then we've got Frank the Racer in the lead. Frank the Racer, absolute solid drive at the moment. We saw him having a few offs in the first race. Bubblegum up to fifth now as Ginger and Saint carry on that battle here. And the Saint is all up and in Ginger's rear mirrors. Then we've got Hawkeye in eighth, and he's ahead of the Waitsy, who isn't that far away, and he's done a good lap that last time around. So Waitsy is starting to push on or off. But Waitsy then finding that dust to be not grippy whatsoever. Frank the Racer, ladies and gentlemen, look at him. I think he's hustled. He's hustled today, ladies and gents. Adam's believing that he couldn't stay on the track, and now he's come back with a vengeance. Krell moving up into second now, ahead of Ninja, as Carlsberg gets mixed in with the fight. And the Berg gets himself past Ninja as well. Poor Ninja having a moment there, losing a couple of positions, and the Berg is up and into third. Oh, it's tight betwixt the two of them, and Ninja and the Berg battling it out. Ninja up the inside, but the Berg's got the inside now, but Ninja's just got a nose ahead, and the Berg look like slightly out of control, and it's Ninja now in third with the Berg down in fourth, and Krell taking the opportunity to get away from the action, chasing down Frank, who's doing a superb job, lovely and consistent. Could he grab a win in his first go here at the URL? Krell then in second, chasing him down with Ninja in third, and Carlsberg in fourth. We've got Bubblegum in fifth. Bubblegum's lap times very solid indeed. A little bit faster than the Berg at this point in the race. And Bubblegum wishing to get back into this action for the podium, it seems. Ginger in sixth, still being chased by the Saint. He cannot shake off the Saint, can he? And Ginger and the Saint absolutely going toe-to-toe. Hawkeye in eighth. And Hawkeye's lap times very strong also. And Waitsy started so strong. Something so strong inside. But he had a moment on lap 3, lap 4, lap 6. I'm playing with you, bro. Doing a super job. So Frank the Racer still leads this race at the moment, and we are 10 minutes in as the Krell hunts him down. 19.6 from Krell last time around. Ninja, Carlsberg and Bubblegum. No, Bubblegum's not joined this battle yet, but Carlsberg and Ninja in a close battle so far. Dicing, some would say. And Bubblegum trying to close in. A 20.3 from Bubblegum last time around. This time it's a 20.2. Carlsberg doing a 20.4 and Ninja at 21.1. So Ninja losing a lot of time to the guys behind him that lap around. Ginger starting, he's just taken the fastest lap of the race and he's eking out a bit of distance between himself and the Saint. Hawkeye in 8th place, not seeming to close in on the guys ahead of him, and Waitsy here for the guffaws. But that wasn't a bad lap time either the last time around, so he's getting somewhere. Frank the Racer, this is the one, ladies and gentlemen. After the first race here at Big Willow, it looked like Frank the Racer was going to struggle, but now put him in front and he will just keep on going. Brilliant stuff from Frank the Racer so far. And Krell slicing his Porsche around that final corner. And Ninja there in 3rd with Carlsberg very close behind. And so is Bubblegum, ladies and gentlemen, on board with Bubblegum, 5th place. He's ahead of Ginger and Saint, who are duking it out all race pretty much. And Bubblegum then in 5th, trying to close himself up to Carlsberg, who again is trying to close up to Ninja for a podium position. This is the fight, ladies and gentlemen. Krell looks to me like he is closing in on Frank the Racer, and Frank the Racer, he's going to have to do a bit of racing for this win. It's not going to be so easy for him as Ninja starts getting a bit of pressure from Carlsberg up ahead. And lovely close racing we are viewing from Bubblegum's car. Up ahead with Carlsberg and Ninja. Krell is closing in. Frank the Racer will be feeling the pressure pretty soon as he comes around that final corner. Don't touch that. Don't put your wheel out there. It's dangerous. And Frank the Racer then trying to do enough to stay ahead. Krell also had a wheel off on the dirt, but it looks like Krell got a good drive out that final corner and he's coming on the attack of Frank the Racer, but not enough. Frank the Racer still maintains position in the lead of this race. Krell absolutely flying, lap in, lap out, getting those fastest laps in. Carlsberg's made the move, but he's off the track. He's off the track. He's back on the track. And Ninja, he went ahead of Ninja for a brief second, and now Ninja back into 3rd, Ginger in 4th, Bubblegum in 5th, and the Berg slipping down into 6th. Where's the Saint? The Saint was with Ginger, and Ginger's already got past 2 of these guys. Ginger likes his late race lunges into it, and Ginger then looking for a podium. He didn't even look like him and Saint were in with a chance, and he's threading himself through. Krell still in 2nd, chasing down Frank the Racer and these 6, and so he's very close though, the Krell. But Frank the Racer just doing enough. Then we've got Ginger moving up ahead of Ninja. I love it when Ginger and Ninja race. It's the rhyming. Bubblegum also getting ahead of Carlsberg now. Carlsberg having a bit of a slip halfway through this race. Well, not even halfway. We're at 25. It's a 25-minute race. We're at nearly 15 minutes. We've got some offs. We've got Ninja off. And we had someone off ahead of us. I'm not sure who it was. I know I saw Ninja off the road and I thought one of these were as well, but everything seems okay. Krell right tucked up under Frank the Racer, and MJ in the chat from the World Racing Community saying evening thingy, thought I'd see what you're doing in place of commentating on your favourite community. Only 1 week until our last ever GT7 Championship. MJ saying, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the ever talented thingy, I hope your phone only charges at a very specific angle. Well done. And MJ saying, still haven't subscribed. I hope your pillow doesn't have a cold side tonight. Very good. I like it, MJ. Well done. So Krell is in the lead then. Frank the Racer down into 2nd. It happens every time I look at the comments, ladies and gentlemen. You can always tell If there's an overtake to be made, it'll be while I'm reading the comments, always. But the Krell going for the double today. Going for a double win. Frank the Racer in second. And Ginger there in third. Ahead of the Berg with the Saint in fourth. The Berg's off the road. The Berg's off the road. The Saint finally gets something out of this race. He's up to fourth now. And the Berg making a small mistake in the final corner. And Bubblegum closing in. Bubblegum closing in late on the brakes, and it's Bubblegum up and into fifth place. Cracking racing up and down the field, ladies and gentlemen, with Carlsberg now in sixth. We've got Ninja in seventh, and Hawkeye closing in for that position. And no mistakes can be made at this point of the race. Waitsy running around in ninth place, but good lap times. Great consistency since the two small mistakes. And Waitsy might see a little bit of action just yet. He seems to be a little too far behind Hawkeye, though, doesn't he? Unfortunately. Krell's picked himself up a huge penalty. An absolute humdinger of a penalty. God knows what you get 3 seconds for around here. It's not pit stops. That's usually a pit stop infringement. But 3 seconds, what did you do? He must have slapped someone. Need someone in the soft region. So Krell paying a huge penalty, and Frank the Racer back in the lead, ladies and gents. And Krell now closer to Ginger probably than he is Frank the Racer at the moment. It's very close. So oh no, Ginger got through past the Krell. Krell's back ahead of Ginger because Ginger absolutely went too deep into the first corner. Tight racing from the two Rectors, and it's tears, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's off the road, and who was it? Is it Krell? It's Ginger. Oh, poor Ginger. Did he put a wheel off the road there? Oh God, not that button. It was very tight. Ginger was on the inside. I'm no steward. There was a little contact there, but it was more... Ah, there you go. That is the culprit. Going on to the dirty stuff never helps. Whoa, but a lovely crash. Look at those people. They didn't even flinch. They didn't even flinch, those guys stood at the sides. That is something. So, poor Ginger. Poor Ginger going toe-to-toe with the Krell. And unfortunately, the Dust won. So Frank the Racer out there in the lead. Krell trying to get back on the programme. And he's only got a few more minutes to do it. 6, 7 minutes at best. The Saint in third. And Bubblegum not far behind with Berg behind him. Carlsberg, Bubblegum and the Saint all very close together on track. Duking over that podium position. Ginger used to be in that podium position. And now he's got a long way to try and catch that one up. Ninja in 7th with Hawkeye in 8th. Oh, Hawkeye, I think, may have parked up with Waitsy coming through and moving up a position. I bet he didn't see that coming. Ginger, I thought something moved here. Bubblegum behind the Berg. The Berg going for it. And, oh, there's a yellow flag out. I don't know what that means for this racing that we're seeing at the moment. But Bubblegum does stay ahead of the Berg, so technically no overtake was done, sir. Saint then up into third with Krell still chasing the second win of the day. But at the moment, Frank the Racer, a solid run from the newcomer. And Saint a little worried about that podium with the Bubblegum and Carlsberg. All the time they're tripping over each other, though. The Saint is going to be safe in the podium position. But Bubblegum and Carlsberg duking it out for 4th and 5th. And Carlsberg, we saw in the first race, come near the end of the race, it all fell apart for him. And maybe he'll have an opposite reaction this time around. Maybe it'll all come together for him. Maybe he'll find a way past Bubblegum and the Saint and hope that the Krell and Frank the Racer throw it off. He's going on the attack with Bubblegum at the moment, coming out the final corner a little bit faster, finding the toe and pulling himself up ahead of Bubblegum, and he doesn't make the same mistake this time. He gets the car slowed down for the corner and makes it within the 2 white lines. So that's Bubblegum slipping down to 5th, as the Saint is the next on Berg's list. Krell closing in again on Frank the Racer, and Frank the Racer, you've got to say, has done a phenomenal job today in this second race. Has not faltered, has not made mistakes. He's absolutely solid. He's sliding the Cayman around the corners, and Krell just toying with him. It feels like Krell's toying with him at the moment. And that's Krell through then, and back into the lead. And he's got something special as the Krell at the moment. He's on top of this Porsche. He knows this track. He's done his homework. Frank the Racer, solid drive in this second race. The Saint seems to have survived with the Berg on chase, and Bubblegum trying to get back in to that action. Ginger in 6th at the moment, with Ninja in 7th, and we have Waitsy in 8th as they go by. Oh dear, you can't park there, sir. You can't park that there. Oh, hello. That's proper sent it into the barriers. He's got out, he's walked away, ladies and gents. He's beached that. So Krell leads the way from Frank the Racer. Did we see him get past? I don't think we did, I'm sorry. So Krell back in the lead now. He was always closing in on Frank the Racer. The Saint in 3rd is looking safe for him at the moment, 22 minutes in, with the Berg chasing him down, and Bubblegum hoping that there's some mistakes made ahead of him. Ginger in a distant 6th there, racing by himself really, no one around him, with Ninja also in the same predicament, and Waitsy as well. Although it looks like Krell's coming around to keep Waitsy company very soon, and Hawkeye having a rest up against the barrier. So here comes the Krell, and Frank the Racer is not out. Don't count him out, because look at him come. Frank the Racer really gets a good drive out of that final corner and pulls up alongside Krell here as they break into the first corner. Side by side action, beautiful stuff. And Frank the Racer trying to find a way by Krell. Krell thought he was going to get by and disappear, but Frank the Racer fancies a bit of a race with him. It's in his name, I suppose. He can't help his little self. The Saint there in 3rd, with Carlsberg in 4th, Bubblegum in 5th. We've got Ginger in 6th, Ninja in 7th, Waitsy in 8th, just about to be lapped by the leaders. Hawkeye hanging out, and Krell in the lead, just about to put a lap on Waitsy as he tries to stay out of Frank the Racer's way. But this is where the danger is. Coming out of this final corner, looks like Frank the Racer has a little more speed. He can carry more speed through the final corner here. And we're just about to start the final lap. It's 24 minutes of the 25-minute race. And Krell then trying to carry a bit more speed through this corner this time. And Frank the Racer, let's see if he can close up. Looks like Krell's managed to carry. Maybe he made a mistake in the final corner last lap around, and that's what gave Frank the Racer a chance to get the jump on him. It's the final lap now, so if Frank the Racer's got something up his sleeve, this is the time to produce it, because there's going to be no more laps after this. The clock is 30 seconds as the Saint in 3rd doing well. Someone's off. I think that's Waitsy. I think it's Waitsy. Bubblegum in 4th. Ginger in 5th. Ginger taking the attack to Carlsberg. Carlsberg having another bad lap, and it's happening again for him. In the final laps of the race, he seems to just wither away. Ninja in 7th, too far to get that action. And Waitsy, I think he was off the road, but I think he was letting the leaders through, and Hawkeye is conversing with the crowd. But it's Krell then, ladies and gentlemen. Superb job. Someone else is off now. Who's that? Oh, Ninja's had a huge off. Can Waitsy claim it? No, he's a little far away. I think Ninja's waiting for the checkered flag as Krell then brings it around, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Krell's going to cross the line first. No, not wait, see. Ninja crosses the line first, but it's Krell who takes the win. Super stuff. Frank the Racer comes across in second. The Saint rounds out that podium. Beautiful stuff with Bubblegum in fourth. Bubblegum, oh yeah, he got ahead of Ninja with, not Ninja, Carlsberg, sorry. Ginger then getting good points there in fifth ahead of the Carlsberg. Carlsberg very unlucky on the final laps in sixth. And it's just Hawkeye making his way around. Or is he still parked up? I think he moved, didn't he? No, he's still parked, so this one will time out. So I'll pause it. So, 2 wins, ladies and gents. 2 wins for Krell. Great drive. Great drive. Peter Brown saying Manufacturers' Cup at Road Atlanta. Oh, is that on tonight or something? And Vodka Rob saying, just finished me fish and chips as the flag came out. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Dinner done and Thingamajig stream out the way. So Krell takes the honours here at Big Willow. Absolutely untouchable at the moment. Frank the Racer finishing in second place. And a shock after his performance in the first race. He seemed to be a little scatty, a little bit off the track, and but he came in this second race and put on a performance, ladies and gentlemen, and one to watch in the future of this. It's a 10-week championship. We're only at round 3, so there is a lot of improvement room to move into. And we've got one of the worst tracks, not worst, but hardest tracks of the calendar out the way. What are they doing next? Autosport, Autopolis, sorry. What else? I'm trying to think of tough tracks. Bathurst? You're going to make them do Bathurst? St. Croix. Anyway, Frank the Racer there in second. We've got the Saint rounding out the podium. Take a boo, my son. Great drive. Bubblegum, good solid drive for fourth place there with Ginger in fifth. Carlsberg coming home in sixth. Ninja in seventh. Waitsy in eighth. And Hawkeye parked it. He'd had enough. I think that's what we're going to finish on because it's the best view in the world. So thank you guys. Oh, we shouldn't. We should look at the winner. We usually end on the winner. So, is there not another view? Sorry. There you go. That's better. So, Krell in the Mini Rexy. Great job done. Fantastic stuff. So in the chat, Vodkrop saying cheers thingy. And Vodkrop saying, get them on the Nord. Yeah, get the learners on Nordschleife. Yeah, that is the toughest one. Okay, then. Thank you very much for those who have tuned in. A huge thank you to URL admin for organising all of this stuff. A huge thank you to our pro sim racers that take part week in, week out. Without you, we'd be nothing. And a huge thank you to you guys that tune in and listen to me blather on about jibber jabber. So you need the biggest praise. You guys have got it the hardest out of everyone. Thank you, everyone. Tiru, catch you in the next stream. Peace and love. Peace and love.